The Bolivian doctor Raul Antasana Sarabria made an exhaustive examination at the home of the person who owned the being. And Ramon, he informed us this being is natural 100%. Also notice it is full of mushrooms, and it had them all over the place and such. It is now clean. The fact is that Atacama Skeleton arrived and we received him at the Royal Academy of Science with 3 professors and the Dean of the University of Barcelona, Mr. Ramon Perez Farras, where the professors and the Dean told us what we had to do, the guideline of the analyses we had to start. We already started the first X-ray we did. We had weak plates made so as not to burn, because we were afraid of harming the specimen. To disturb it or spoil it. And that was when we were told we don't know what this is. Almond eye in the head so bulky, hands so elongated. No kneecap, collarbone was different, it was more triangular. It was such a large set of features. The body was small, but the bones were made and the lower limbs, which take the longest to form, seemed formed. And then I started to care about the little people. There are people who had the courage, like Dr. Lau Villadonigas, who is an excellent person, not because they believe these things, but he said that I am impossible. This was not a fetus. And then in a laboratory of Dr. Echevarne, which is a very important laboratory in Barcelona, in which he is a very important man, his belief also said that he was not a fetus. Dr. Valles Gonzalez himself, also founder of Institute 1, a great physician, also said that this was not a fetus. I showed everyone the feet to all of them. How can it be a fetus if they have calluses on their legs, on their feet? This creature is not extraterrestrial, it is terrestrial. I believe they are from here, and perhaps we have some kinship with them, despite the difference in another sense. I met Yasmin San Martin, who is very involved in that area, and she introduced me to this native, and I took her a large photograph of the Atacama being, and I said yes, I knew her. And he put a hand to his head. Yes, if these beings lived with us, they lived a little apart from us. They were very small and able-bodied people. Sometimes we did not stand up for them. They lived in caves and always came out at night. And why were they going out at night if they were normal and such? Yes, even though they had big eyes, there were many condors, and the condor would have been taken away. Then they went out at night and were docile people. But when the Spanish conquest began bringing with them illnesses, the smallpox and things that they came with the Europeans, many died, so they took refuge in the high mountains. The eyes are striking. The eyes also tell you that it was a being that walked at night or in cave. If the Aymara tribe are telling you, the Aymara already told me that these species come out at night. That was when I became interested in the Gentiles, those Gentile people, and that Gentile people had existed with Peruvians, with Bolivians, the northern part of Argentina, Jujuy and all that part of Arica and so on. And maybe I can explain this old news that has come to me very recently because we always had doubts whether they were lived there or didn't. There are two very big problems here, whether they are the same as the ones we are looking for or there are small beings, but they are different. In the Andes mountain range, I think there are two varieties. One is small but very similar to human, and the other one that is not. Well, the history of the Gentiles and the small beings. Now let's trace back to the year 1924. There is a story that I am going to explain myself. It is in the archive of the Indies in Seville, which can be verified. It seems to me that it was Father Diego. He was with a captain who was armed. I don't know if it was an arquebus or some weapon of the time, and he sees two animals come out of the brush. He believes that they are two animals. The man shoots, and as it was close, he kills the animal nearby. When he goes to pick up the animal and hold it in his hand, he sees that it is a small human being and that it is a woman, and that the other being is caught because it was wounded. Well, the wounded being lasted for a while. I don't know if it lasted a few weeks. It lasted for a while, but in the end he dies. And this is the version of small beings.